For many immigrants, the journey to a new country is filled with courage, sacrifice, and hope. But alongside that hope, there's often deep emotional strain. From cultural disconnection to systemic barriers, immigrants face mental health challenges that are too often unseen, unheard, and untreated. This is a call to emerging behavioral health professionals. If we want to truly support immigrant communities, we must meet them with trauma-informed, culturally responsive care. We must listen, we must learn, and we must make healing accessible. With tools like Rising Beyond Barriers, from TAC Healing Rise, we can help immigrant families reclaim wellness and dignity together. What makes immigrant mental health unique? Immigrant mental health is shaped not just by personal trauma, but by long-standing structural and cultural obstacles. The stress often begins before migration, with war, poverty, or persecution. It continues through migration, with family separation or dangerous journeys. And it lingers post-migration, through language barriers, discrimination, legal fear, and instability. These overlapping stressors can lead to anxiety, depression, PTSD, and even physical symptoms like headaches or chronic pain. But despite this, many immigrants never seek help. Services are often inaccessible, and stigma around mental illness can be overwhelming. Common barriers to mental health access. Let's talk about what stands in the way. 1. Language and communication gaps. Without interpreters or bilingual providers, therapy becomes a frustrating struggle. Emotional connection gets lost. 2. Legal and documentation fears. Undocumented immigrants may fear that seeking help will get them reported. That fear is often rooted in real, lived experiences. 3. Cultural stigma. In many cultures, therapy is misunderstood. Mental illness may be seen as a personal failure. This keeps people silent. 4. Financial insecurity. Without insurance or income stability, therapy feels like a luxury most can't afford. 5. Lack of culturally responsive care. Many clinicians aren't trained to understand the traditions, values, or trauma that shape immigrant lives. This creates distance where there should be connection. What trauma looks like in immigrant communities. Trauma doesn't always speak in words. For some adults, it shows up as exhaustion or hypervigilance. For others, it's guilt over family left behind. Children might shut down or avoid school. Many experience somatic symptoms, pain that lives in the body when language can't carry the weight. Trauma-informed care means recognizing these patterns and holding space for the full story, not just the diagnosis. Cultural humility is where healing begins. We don't have to know everything about every culture, but we do need to approach each client with curiosity, respect, and a willingness to learn. Ask before assuming. Listen before guiding. Being culturally responsive means understanding how family, faith, and community play a role in healing, how gender norms, spirituality, and tradition shape behavior, how historical trauma influences present-day emotions. Tools like Rising Beyond Barriers help clinicians navigate these layers with reflection and care. What professionals can do: trauma-informed strategies. Here are real steps behavioral health workers can take. 1. Normalize mental health. Use psychoeducation to reduce stigma. Frame therapy as strength, not weakness. 2. Use interpreters with care. Always work with trained interpreters, not family members. Slow down, leave space for emotion and clarity. 3. Simplify the intake process. Make forms multilingual and easy to understand. Avoid complex clinical labels that may not translate culturally. 4. Include the family. Offer family sessions when possible. Recognize that healing in many cultures is a shared process. 5. Partner with the community. Work with churches, mosques, cultural centers, and grassroots groups. Healing often begins in trusted spaces, not just clinics. Supporting family systems. In immigrant households, roles shift fast. Kids become translators, elders feel displaced, parents face intense emotional labor. Professionals must reflect these realities in care, acknowledge role stress, offer parenting groups and youth peer support, create safe spaces for multi-generational dialogue. Rising Beyond Barriers provides tools and stories to guide these conversations with empathy. From care to advocacy. To truly serve immigrant families, we must advocate. That means challenging policies that create fear, educating schools and shelters on immigrant trauma, connecting families with housing, food, and legal support. When we move from service delivery to systemic advocacy, we become part of the solution. For emerging professionals, your role matters. If you're a student, intern, or early career provider, you're stepping in at the perfect time. You can build culturally grounded systems of care, learn from the voices of immigrant families, practice with integrity, empathy, and action. Begin by reflecting on your own lens. What assumptions do you carry? What are you still learning? Books like Rising Beyond Barriers will walk with you through that process, offering tools, exercises, and stories that reflect real lives, not just theory. Final thoughts: healing is a shared journey. Immigrant mental health isn't just about diagnoses. It's about loss and love, hope and memory, fear and strength. It's about walking alongside people who carry entire worlds inside them and saying you are not alone. As professionals, our job is not to fix, but to witness, to stand beside, to hold space, to advocate. Because every immigrant story matters, every journey deserves dignity, and every family deserves the chance to heal. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.